joining us today.
Yep.
Let's go right into it with Luciano. Go ahead.
Hey, Sam, I hope we're doing well, and thanks for your time. Jeremiah, again, I'll just mention this game being a full circle with your first start coming in Charlotte against South Carolina. Has that dawned on you already, and how are you feeling leading into this game?
Yeah, it's kind of cool to be back here in Charlotte. It's where I grew up. So I'm just, it's just super exciting to be back here in Charlotte. I have a lot of people that's going to come to the game and to play against a good team like South Carolina. Like you said, we played them a couple of years ago here in Charlotte. So to kind of relive that moment and get that same opportunity, it's a lot of fun.
Patrick Welter.
Sam, one of those people that's going to be there tomorrow. Your high school coach, Tad, I got a chance to talk to him recently. He had some nice things to say about you. So I was wondering if you could just kind of give me a story or an idea of what that relationship with your high school coach has meant to you. Yeah,
no, Coach Buckham, he's been awesome for me. I'm super blessed to have him in my life. He's been there for me since the day I met him. He's a super faithful guy. I have a lot of respect for him and the way he lives his life. He's such a good man. I aspire to be the man he is one day. And just the way he cares about people, and it's beyond football with him. And he truly cares about me and all my high school teammates. So I think I keep in touch with him. I probably talk to him at least every other day. He's just super awesome. His family's awesome. So he's just someone I'm blessed to have in my life.
And Brian, go ahead.
Hey, Sam. Schematically, what are kind of the things that this South Carolina defense does, and what are the things that maybe make it kind of difficult to deal with?
Yeah, no, they do a good job on defense. They got some really good players, really talented players on the defense side of the ball, and they're really well coached. They're always kind of lined up where they're supposed to be, and they always know their job. They don't have too many blown mistakes or blown coverages. And they have a really, you can tell they have a really good understanding of what they're doing. They have a really good understanding of how to disguise things. They know how to show different coverages when they're running something else. And you can just tell they're really well coached and they have a really good understanding of what they're doing.
Andrew Jones.
Hey, Sam, every year in a bowl game, there's always a couple guys that kind of step up into a role that maybe they didn't have as much of during the regular season. Of your wide receivers, outside of obviously Josh and Antoine, any one of those guys kind of step up in the last few weeks and take advantage of what Mac has called sort of an extra spring practice, and you could see having a little bit bigger role tomorrow?
Yeah, I think one guy is Justin Olsen. He had that touchdown in the state game. And he's only gotten better every week throughout the year. And he's a phenomenal player. He's, like I said, he's made so much improvement throughout the season. And I expect him to have a pretty big role tomorrow.
As far as you personally, I know that you'll have something to announce here, but you're a pretty focused guy, pretty tunnel vision guy. Has being in Charlotte helped or maybe challenged some of that focus, given some of the questions you've been asked because it was your first game, you're from the area, your high school coach and other people being there?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been much of a challenge, honestly. I'm just, like I said, I'm excited to be here in Charlotte. I'm still focused on the game and stuff like that, but it is cool. It hasn't really been a distraction for me. I'm make sure I make the most of it and try to take advantage of the moment I have.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Let's go over to Christopher Heidel.
Hi, thanks for taking my questions this morning. Good morning. And first of all, just talk about your first game against South Carolina. What did they look differently this time around when you first played them? I know that was a couple of years ago, different players, different coaches, different everything. Do they still look the same to you in your eyes that what you learned from that game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of differences in their team, different personnel and stuff like that. But you can just tell by the size, they're a big football team. And they looked apart. I don't really know how to compare them to that team in 19. All I remember from that game in 19 is how physical they played. They're a really physical football team. And it was my first college game, so that made it probably 10 times more physical. But no, I know they're going to be a physical team. They're going to play hard, and they're very well coached. I have a lot of respect for Coach Beamer and the job he's done. So I know they're going to be ready to play. It's going to be a great challenge for us.
And a follow-up real quick, playing in that stadium, Bank of America Stadium, is it one of your goals, maybe when you get to the next level to be a Panther and you'll be like, hey, I played here and this is a great place to play? You never know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. If that's the path I choose to take, I'd be happy to be on any team. But I grew up going to games in Bank of America Stadium, so it's just a blessing that I get to go in there and play one more time.
Well, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
CL Brown.
Hey, Sam, given some of the cancellations, especially NC State, just hours before kickoff, how have you kind of mentally been preparing for this game with the possibility of COVID shutting it down?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying not to worry about it, honestly. Obviously, it could happen, but we're preparing like we're going to play a game, and we're going to do everything we can. And if something does happen, then it happens. We'll just deal with it when that happens. But we're prepared to play. We're expecting to play. We've heard all good things, so we're going into tomorrow expecting to play a game.
And also going back to 2015, you had said before that you were cramping up pretty bad in that game and everything. Was there ever a point where you thought maybe you weren't going to be able to go back on a fit, like you were going to have to miss a few snaps or something in order to get hydrated? Yeah,
I almost had to leave and get an IV, I think during like the third quarter or something. But yeah, gladly enough, the cramps got a little bit better. It was something I could manage. Yeah, but there was a time in the third quarter where I almost had to leave the game and go into the locker room, get an IV.
Thank you.
Back over to Ben Bryant.
Kind of two questions. One, was Shane Beamer someone you interacted at all with during your recruiting process? And second question, just have you kind of, maybe not, but sort of seen kind of what's happened to the South Carolina program since you beat them back in 2019?
No, I didn't really interact with Coach Beamer as a group, but there's a friend of mine that he's still in high school, a really good friend of mine. So I'm really close with their family. He was being recruited kind of in, and they had a 7-on-7 tournament down there in South Carolina this summer, and I was there watching him. And so I kind of got to interact with those coaches a little bit, and I have a lot of respect for those guys. And I know a couple guys on the team, so I keep up with South Carolina. And it's been kind of cool to see them back in a bowl game. It's a program that deserves to be good, and I think has a lot of potential to be good. And I think Coach Beamer's a guy that's going to get them in.
All right, we'll close up with Sam Howell today with a last question from JB Ricks.
Hey, what's up, Sam? Thanks for taking out this time, buddy. I wanted to ask you about, all the kudos that you've kind of gotten this year for the way you kind of put your body on the line with, your rushing game and just, going out there and just showing that, you'll do whatever it takes to win. I wanted to know where that comes from, when it comes to your competitive spirit, and how much of an impact do you think that will have on your prospects when it comes time for you to be drafted?
Yeah, I mean, I've always, as long as I can remember, I've been super competitive. I guess it's just how I was raised. Both my parents played sports. And I don't know. I mean, I just always wanted to win. I fell in love with winning at a young age, and I just hate losing. So whatever I'm doing, I always want to do everything I can to do it to the best of my ability. And this year with me running the ball, I mean, I've had so much fun playing this year. It's been a lot of fun. I like running the ball, and it's worked well for our team. So if it's working for our team, I'm going to do it. I just want to win. Whatever it takes to win, I'll do. And I don't have any thoughts when it comes to how it's going to help me in the next level. I think when people see how I play and see my competitiveness, it's something to want on their team.
As a follow-up question, did you have any detractors or any kind of like naysayers to your decision to play in this bowl game? Was there anybody that you kind of had to say, back off or whatever? This is my decision. This is what I want to do. Did you have to deal with that at all during this process?
Honestly, no. Just because everyone who knows me and's in my corner knows that even if they have an opinion, didn't want me to play in a bowl game, they know I'm going to play. So really, I didn't hear anything like that.
All right, appreciate you. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate a few
Yeah,
minutes of your time.
appreciate it, Mark.